Last time on Edgeworth Investigations. Prosecutor Von Carmine brought the police dog as you request. Oh, look at the little dog! I bet he already has a name. But if I could give him a name, it'd be Chub Chub the Destroyer. You could please take a look at this brown-colored undershirt.
Oh, Edgy Poo, what is the meaning of this? Why did you steal that thing from my bags? All you had to do was ask and I would have gladly taken it, given it to you as you like.
Ah, but thanks, but no thanks. This undershirt was found here at the crime scene.
What? That face!
That must be a new one. I haven't seen that one before. Come now, why don't you just confess and explain what it's doing here?
I know nothing. Nothing I tell you.
What?
Oh, I admit that I used the fireplace to dry that shirt. But I can't really help the fact that I had to, you know. Wearing that pink princess costume was like being in a sauna. On top of that, I get fingered as a suspect. You're too cruel, Edgy Poo.
Are you claiming that you never once set foot inside this room?
Of course I am. If I'd be the one to find the body, do you think I'd be as calm and relaxed as I am? I tell you, it's always like this.
Oh god, she's just going on and on and on. I wonder what would happen if I put several ounces of bleach in her drinks. Would she die quickly or slowly? Or is she immune to toxins? Is her body ethereal? Many questions to be answered. Well... I don't believe she's lying about her actions. So I can safely assume she was drying her shirt by the fireplace on her break. And somehow the undershirt managed to move from the next room to this one. That is a good question, Edgeworth. Question all people should ask. I assume the samurai dog was also yours.
Oh, that brilliant mind of yours. You really can see through everything about me.
And so the feeling of dread continues, but I suppose I should ask for more details, like why you left it lying in a fireplace. Do you want me to present it? Oh no, I can just go here. That samurai dog was yours, wasn't it?
Oh, of course, I'm forever yours, my Edgy Wedgy Poo.
If you could just stick to what I asked you. Edgy, are you and Miss Oldbag, you know?
No! You really don't change, do you? When will you learn to take a joke? Anyway, that samurai dog wasn't mine. Those things are a present from the studio to the embassy.
A present? Oh, wait, that's not him. The studio bigwigs basically told us to play delivery boys. We were supposed to hand the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi. I had to pile them into a push cart just to move them all around. These studio guys should have delivered those things by themselves, right, Edgy? So did you deliver the samurai dogs into the embassy staff per your instructions? Hey, Edgy, don't just ignore me in my question. Aren't you going to stick up for me?
About that, see, after the show, I wanted to rest a spell in the dressing room. Because of my bad hip, you know. And there they were, just samurai dogs were just sitting on the dressing room floor. I suppose you had to make preparations for distributing them after the show. Well, if by preparation you mean sampling them as well.
Excuse me?
Oh, I tried one and thought they were actually quite good. Sorry, but I just had to find out. I know it was silly of me to think this, but I figured that since they're for a kids show and their taste was probably for kids too. But they were so good that I couldn't stop. Before I went back to my room, I just had to help myself to half a dozen or so boxes. I just sat there by the roaring fire, warming them and eating them as I thought, this is... What is it now? Oh, I know. I bet you want a box too, don't you? Don't worry, we can share both sides. Well, am I to say no to you, but I'll only give you one. The rest are all for me.
Thank you, kind and caring old bag.
Looks like the lesson for today is that when the Steel Samurai and the Pink Princess take off their masks, they transform into a pair of annoying troublemakers.
I feel like we can logic some of this together now. Smoke from chimney, used fireplace. I'm a genius! There's no trace of this room's fireplace being used.
And your point is?
Smoke was supposedly pouring out of the chimney connected to this fireplace. At least according to Larry, this is a contradiction of facts, is it not?
Are you sure he wasn't just disoriented or something up on that roof?
There is testimony from an investigator that puts Larry at this particular chimney. So no, I don't think it was a mistaken impression on Larry's part. On the other hand, the fireplace in the next room was being used at the time. Where do you suppose the smoke from that fireplace went?
I see, so what you are proposing is this. That the smoke that came out of the chimney was actually from Miss Oldbag's fire. So basically the fireplaces of neighboring rooms share one chimney, is that what you are implying?
I didn't know that was a thing. I mean, I've always lived in, like, singular homes, but I didn't know you could just connect chimneys. Huh. I mean, it's not like it'd be super hard to do, but... Can we connect these two? I highly doubt it, but why not? Let's try. Okay, we can. The lady's undershirt that Missile found. Ah!
Why are you getting all excited over holding onto a lady's undergarment? Miles Edgeworth, you uncouth sea slug. If you know the owner of said undershirt, then hurry up and return it to her already.
You have it all wrong. This is evidence. The owner of this piece of evidence was in the room next door. And yet, despite that, Missile found it in the fireplace of this room. This lady's undershirt.
Are you seriously claiming that it somehow passed through a solid brick wall?
Not quite. The fireplace in this room is connected to a chimney. The other fireplace in the other room is also connected to the same chimney, leading us to the possibility that the two fireplaces are connected to each other.
Perhaps a closer look at the back of the fireplace is in order.
Okay. There's an X on the back of the wall in the fireplace. Let's see if I can't get a better look at it. Whoa, okay, that's a feature. Wow. You could definitely spy into a different room using that. Like, what in the...
The wall separating this fireplace from the next room's fireplace apparently turns.
As I suspected, this fireplace does indeed connect to this room, to the neighboring room.
The neighboring room?
There appears to be nothing particular about the next room. Or peculiar. But the fact that there is nothing special about that next room isn't what's important. The fact is that there is a secret passageway through the room's fireplace. That is going to play a big part, isn't it?
We now know that the fireplace connects the two rooms. But how exactly is that significant? You aren't going to suddenly name the old lady as Damas 2's killer now, are you?
No, she couldn't even move at all because of her stiff hip. So she could not have been the one. Unfortunately, I believe. But this fireplace has nothing to do whatsoever with Damas 2's murder. Oh, finally! We completed the investigation. It would appear that the answer has made itself known. You're making quite a confident face there, Mr. Prosecutor. Bring it on, I'm ready to counter any argument you may have. Very well then, are you prepared? I will show you exactly where my deductions have led me. Good, I'm counting on you, Edgy. Leave it to me, Larry. My first attack will be to expose your lie for what it really is. My lie? I know that there's still something you are keeping from the rest of us. What's wrong with you? And why won't you believe me no matter what I say, Edgy? Curse you, I should just hurry up and die already, if that's how it's gonna be. I'll confess to every murder in the whole world and then kill myself. Okay, dude, just chill. And throw everything into mass confusion. You made some wonderful friends as a child, I see. Larry, I have only one thing to say to you. Even if you make that face at me, it's no use. A man who is ready to die is strong-willed, you know. Larry, it doesn't matter what sort of harebrained trouble you cause. I only ask that you do not lie to me. If you cause an innocent person to be judged unfairly because of some insipid lie, I will never forgive you. Edgy. Although, allow me to say that I consider you to be among the innocent in this case. And I will draw the real killer out. You can trust me on this. Alright, this time I'll tell you the whole truth, okay? What happened, what didn't happen, the works. Just what happened will do. Now then, if you would please testify as to what you did up on the roof tonight. Oh god, I hate his portrait. After the show, I left the pushcart in the rose garden and came into the chimney. Then they took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador. After that, and until my next appearance, I had some free time, so I wandered around. That's when I spotted the chimney. A chimney like that is a rare thing, you know. So then I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try. Larry, I thought I just finished telling you not to lie anymore. But it's kinda ultra embarrassing. What exactly is so ultra embarrassing that you can't tell me? Edgy, man, I just said it was embarrassing, so of course I can't blurt it out. It's not like anyone died or anything.
As your superior, I command you to hurry up and expose this man's lie.
I have every intention to, for I'm not about to let us waste time on such a trifling matter. Oh my god, you guys are right. He does drag this investigation on, doesn't he? You left the pushcart. Could you please clarify that statement for me? Yeah, so the wheels on the pushcart got covered in dirt from the rose garden. It would have made a mess on the floor inside, so Ambassador Alba just said to leave it. Well, it would be a rather impolite to dirty another country's embassy. Come to think of it, I recall seeing the pink princess on my way into the embassy. What was she doing? Nothing in particular. Because she was being carried by some docs on the stretcher. She must have been incapacitated by the pain of a bad hip that she suffered during the show. So I came into the embassy, right? And then... So you shook hands with the ambassador of the Kingdom of Alabas, did you? Yeah, can you believe it? I did something really cool for a change. But honestly speaking, there's nothing interesting about shaking some guy's hand. Hey there, are you disrespecting another country? Wait, why are you sweating? In their very own embassy? As someone with roots in the country, I feel nothing but incredible shame at this second. Agreed, I apologize for his inconsiderate words. Now Larry, please continue. What's with all of you? You keep saying that kind of thing and I'll tell you only lies. You're already telling us nothing but lies, so let's go and get a move on. Oh, right already, you don't need to glare at me like that, Edgy. Larry. I can't say I like you. Larry, I want you to listen very carefully and take this to heart. The whole point of your whole life is to cause misery and pain to everyone you encounter. I know. I get it, I'm totally the bad guy again. I thought you were his friend. Don't you think that was a bit harsh? Langzi says true friends are bosom friends. So in other words, let me touch your bosom, Edgeworth, and we can become true friends. If you're in trouble, call on your bosom friend, whose shoulder you can truly cry on. Hey, bosom buddy, I hope you're listening carefully to my testimony. Has it crossed your pea-sized brain yet again that Agent Lang is only out to arrest you, Larry? Now then, you were wandering around inside the embassy, and then what happened? I should hardly think that chimneys are that rare. Agreed, especially since they are a traditional feature of American houses. Plus, many grand buildings have even larger and fancier chimneys. Yeah, but that kind of chimney I'm talking about is the really romantic type. A romantic chimney? It might sound kind of silly, but women seem to really enjoy them. I just had a good feeling about that chimney. Was he trying to, like, look at her change to the chimney or something? That's when I decided to play Santa and decided to give it a try. You suddenly wanted to play Santa. Oh well, actually I dressed up as Santa once before already. But that was down at Gourd Lake. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't dredge up such unnecessary memories for me. Sounds like you guys share a lot of history. A perk of being childhood friends, huh? Besides, it's not a felony to dress up and play Santa, you know. Santa doesn't go around killing people after he comes down a family's chimney after all. Actually, there are some stories in other countries. Actually, it's worth delving into whether or not playing Santa is a big deal. Yes, it is. Actually, I believe in the case of this man, playing Santa is actually quite a big deal. Are you saying that your buddy isn't exactly made of Santa quality stuff? Sounds like a slogan. Precisely, you hit the nail on the head, Agent Lang. Hey, Edgy, that's so incredibly mean. You tell me something, Larry. Did you know that Santa's job is to deliver I almost said peasants. It's to deliver presents to the peasantry, those people below me in my cravat. To people all over the world. Of course I know that. I did graduate from junior high, you know. In that case, it's your turn to tell me something. I want you to tell me to whom you were delivering a present to. I was, delivering a present to a child, not basking in the glow of love? That must be the most elegant description of you I've ever heard, but a lie is still a lie. You sure know how to kick a guy when he's down, you know that? In any case, the person you wish to deliver the present unto was certainly this. You gave Kay a present. Whoa, this is mass to mass too? Alright. I guess it was old bag then? Since I don't see, the ladies... Yeah, I don't see the actor's name in here, so... Ex-security lady. The woman behind the pink princess mask. I believe her real name is Wendy Oldbag. Opportunist related to first mass to mass. Found in Alabas. Real name, Kashinu. Interesting taste you have there, Mr. Suspect. Don't spread lies about me. I totally didn't want to see Miss Oldbag so much that I tried to go down a chimney. Ow. I advise you to stop right there in your bashing of a lady. Well, I must admit that I myself hardly ever want to run into that lady. However, what if you were misinformed and under the wrong impression? Then what? Define wrong impression. I simply mean that the man before you thought to enter the old lady's room without knowing one very important fact. And that fact is best summed up by this. The fact that it wasn't an old lady. I feel like either of these would work. For Miss Oldbag has mistakes. I guess I'll present this. Larry, I'd like for you to take a... Oh, guess I got it wrong. I guess I'll just use the undershirt then. It's not really that important, is it? It's always like this. You acting so high and mighty and then you bully me. That's why I refuse to look at it. Be quiet and just take a look. Well, if you say so, Francie, it's only because you say so. Some people never change, even if their attitudes do change at the whim of women. So, what's up with that anyway? Why, it's proof that you never even knew existed, of course. Oh, is that all? Well, I don't need it now, so I'll just give it back to you. What? I've got you on the ropes now, don't I? Was that piece of evidence unrelated to the question at hand? I need to think through this one. No, I know the answer, Edgy. Please, just let me present it. It's the shirt. Lariat. Okay, no, I got it wrong again. Never mind. I guess I'm doing this all wrong. Oh, that's right. Duh, we have the freaking stand-in request. I completely forgot. I completely forgot we had that. There we go. Makes more sense now. This is something the old lady received from her employer for the night. The girl who normally plays the pink princess, Mindy was it again? It seems that this man has quite taken with that actress. But that's not true, Edgy. She's the one with the hots for me. I just know it. I can feel their sexy beam piercing my heart when she's watching me. Her sexy beam. Sexy beam, I tell you! You filthy, despicable, inconsiderate, fickle, idiotic, cowardly apparition of a man. You haven't matured at all since we last met. I can't even tell if, like, Francisca's, like, into him or not. It's such a weird thing. I hope to God not, because Larry's... I really dislike him. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes? This guy, he's got bigger problems than just getting involved in murders, I take it. Suppose you could put it that way. Hey, what the heck, man? I don't get you guys at all. Why do you have to make me out to be some sort of bad guy? To return to the original topic, I propose that this much has been made clear. Without any knowledge that Miss Mindy had fallen ill, Larry tried to make his way into the Pink Princess's room. That much we know for sure. Hey, Edgy. Looks like I've got the hang of this court thing now. But we're not in court at the moment. Shut up! I see what's going on here, and it looks just like what you do in court. I guess old boy here still has something he'd like to say. Lang Zi says, until the root of the tongue dries, one never knows the whole truth. You shouldn't form conclusions until everything is out in the open, which is why I'll listen. Alright, then get ready to listen to me defeat Edgy in a battle of wits. Larry, have you forgotten that I lose your victory that should I lose, your victory prize will be your arrest? So you think all I wanted was to go visit Miss Mindy? Well, I dressed up as Santa and climbed up to the chimney, but the smoke was really thick. It was a case of mistaken identity, and that mistake made me late for the speech. Then, to top it all off, I became a suspect in a murder. That's what you really meant. But why did I ever put myself through so much humiliation on purpose? Okay, so here's that last line. I think I see it. Oh, so I think that's one of my favorite sprites from, this, I guess this game is Lang staring backwards like, this is really awkward. Hey, someone say something! Larry, are you seriously trying to submit this? Not as a confession, but as a testimony. So what if I am? Is there something wrong with that? My claim is a claim claiming my claim. Do you have a problem with that? So it was you! Oh, you're still here? You're my stalker. But I should warn you that it doesn't matter what kind of flattery you throw at me. I'm the devoted type of woman who's wholly focused on— oh no. Oh god, please stop. Oh, you're right, that tree does look like him. Oh, I'm so inspired. You're such an inconsiderate, cowardly, idiotic, and all-around completely worthless man. I thought I heard something ominous just now, but perhaps it was just my imagination. I believe there's nothing further for me to prove at this point. Well, what do you mean? Of course you've still got something to prove. You sought to show some proof that I was trying to meet up with Mindy. Proof, you say? Remember, Edgy, everything is evidence in court, right? You mean evidence is everything in court, Larry. But I understand your point. Yeah, see, I'm totally pro at this now. Very well, if you wish to see the evidence, then let me show you the last piece of evidence you'll ever wish to see. Really? He's playing courtroom with us right now? Why would I ever put myself through so much pain? It's because you wrote her a dumb letter. Watch me get this wrong, too. Oh, no, I didn't. Wow. Okay, that's an improvement from the last one. Larry, don't even think about denying that you have knowledge of this letter. Hey, why are you showing that to me? Windy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight, your loving knight. Wasn't that just romantic? Weren't you able to descend on her from above? But you weren't able to descend on her from above, were you, Mr. Loving Knight? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't remember a thing. You can pretend to be ignorant all you like, but it's written right here. This letter proves that you were not out to meet the old lady, but rather that you were attempting to pay Miss Mindy a visit. What part of this letter shows that the person Larry had intended to meet was Mindy? Probably the name, just badly written. Larry, I suggest you take up penmanship lessons. That is, if you never wish to experience this level of embarrassment ever again. What the heck? What are you talking about? Speak English. You wrote Mindy so sloppily, it became Wendy, to the average eye. Hey, stop picking on me. It's so embarrassing. There. Isn't that what childhood friends are for? They're the best, aren't they? for punching. But that will have to wait until we're off this crime scene. Edgy, save me from the scary man. He's not that scary, just don't get on his bad side. Sure, if you're willing to make amends, starting with your incredibly embarrassing mistake. That wasn't me. Come again? It's a fake. Someone's out to get me, so they made that fake letter. Set me up. Accept your defeat graciously. But you guys are being so mean. Penmanship analysis. What's that? No matter who, all people have certain unique features to their handwriting. Ergo, all we have to do is compare the handwriting in this letter to the sample of yours. And we'll know soon enough who it was that sent the letter. I'll never write another thing in my life. It's no use, Mr. Loving Knight. When you've already graciously provided me with a sample of your handwriting. Oh, that's right. This autograph in our mysterious letter. If we compare the handwriting, we'll know the answer to our question soon enough. Confess now, Larry, to your miserable failure. I'm sorry. I did it. It was me causing trouble again. I admit it. You hit the nail right on the head, Edgy. So he finally confesses. I saw the pink princess being carried around in a stretcher and got worried, alright? I wanted to go into Mindy's room, but the doctors wouldn't let me in. So what choice did I have? It was the chimney or bust, Edgy. You could wait it outside or something. Your mind jumped from the door to the chimney. What a criminally overactive imagination. Well, at least I was honest and wrote Mindy a letter and stuck it under the door. That way she wouldn't be so shocked when I came down through the chimney. Except for the fact that the letter was an utter failure at conveying said sentiment. I'm really, really sorry. Larry, you may be shameful, good-for-nothing blight on the face of humanity. Oh my goodness, that is an insult. However, I always knew you weren't the killer. I told you to trust me. Because at the very least, I can attest to that about you. Edgy, you're... Ah!
We've lost a lot of valuable time because of you.
Ow. Yes, we have. He's a literal waste of time. In any case, I believe we can say that we now know exactly what happened. Mr. Larry Butts sought to climb down the chimney. Not for access to the crime scene, but to enter the room of the elderly lady next door. Great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Although I still find it a bit unbelievable that the two of you are friends. But the suspicion on that guy over there isn't completely resolved yet, so don't get any funny ideas about running off, okay? Ow. Whoa. Hey, wait. What? Edgy, what does the Wolfman mean when he says I'm not off the hook yet? He means that the murder weapon... Larry, did you forget? There are 2 layers of suspicion hanging over your head. That's exactly what I mean. We can't rely on the words of the suspect, after all. We may have figured out where he was and what he was doing all night, but the blood stain on the samurai sword that was left at the crime scene. As long as there's no satisfactory explanation for that, this wolf will refuse to ease up on his bite. Eee! Edgy, that guy looks like he's seriously about to take a bite out of me. I'm well aware, and you should be as well, that this upcoming battle will be crucial. Thanks to the cooperation of our lovely bumbler. I've been dealt a very nice hand and a sweet trump card. Looks like we're about to enter the final bout. Now, Mr. Prosecutor, let's see what you got. I can easily point out the contradiction in the supposed murder weapon. But the real problem for me is figuring out what the real murder weapon is. This will be a high-stakes gamble. But this is one game I cannot lose. Oh my god, this case is long. Oh my goodness. I was the one who found the body of the victim Damas too. Beside him was the samurai sword glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. It was supposed to be in the Steel Samurai's dressing room, but I found it here instead. Plus I found the murder weapon's owner, the suspect, Larry Butts, in here too. Isn't that a bit far-fetched to accuse someone simply on the basis of ownership? But this owner wanted to sneak onto the crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on, don't you? You're alluding to his reason for being by the chimney. We've already established that. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. You two are longtime friends, right? Who's to say you don't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi? You're accusing me of fabricating evidence. You literally just saw me pick it up. You think I can believe anything you produce? Forging evidence is all you prosecutors do. This man has some serious issues with prosecutors. Yeah, I was about to say, I really wonder what the huge thing is with him. Because they said he had issues with prosecutors before, but I don't think they specified. But come on, I can't think of something as complicated as that, right, Edgy? Larry, I can agree because I know you and your personality well. However, Agent Lang knows nothing about you. Or me, for that matter. I sense his hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being. Meaning that the only way I can prove Larry's innocence is to present irrefutable evidence. I was the one who found the body of the victim demasked too. Beside him was the samurai sword, glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. It was supposed to be in the Steel Samurai's dressing room, but I found it here instead. Plus, I found the murder weapon's owner, the suspect Larry Butts, in here too. It's simply not possible that the samurai sword is the real murder weapon. So I should focus on proving that point to Agent Lang first. Alright, we're gonna need to press things because I didn't see anything in that statement that was false. So you were the first to discover the body at this time. This time? What is that supposed to mean? You better watch what you say. I only said this time because earlier Kane was the first to discover the body in Babel. And your secretary, Agent Sheena, was ready to accuse her of murder for that. Huh, so are you going to use that excuse to call me suspicious now? Of course not, I was simply pointing out the usual pattern with discoveries of bodies. But in Bob Elise's case... But in the Bob Elise case, there was proof that she was holding the weapon, right? Well, in this one, it's a bit different, since we know exactly where the weapon is. Beside him was the samurai sword, glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. Excuse me, but glittering red and offering up the scent of blood? Do I have to spell it out for you? I meant the sight and smell of blood, of course. And according to the tests, the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. The sword was made to only be used on stage, so it's not sharp. But it's pretty weighty. Certainly heavy enough to beat someone to death with. Which leads me to suspect that the victim was beaten to death with a sword. Beaten to death, huh? This last statement is too important just to let it slip by. Beside him was a samurai sword covered in the victim's blood. Hey, maybe Larry hit the spear against the wall. Or spear, he didn't hit it against the wall. He hit it against the back of his head, because that would make sense, but Agent Lang, about this piece of evidence. Okay, I guess I was wrong. Langzi says, confidence is like a soul, and words without confidence are but empty shells. You shouldn't waste your time, you shouldn't waste your breath on words you have no confidence in, Mr. Prosecutor. Although it's just as bad to say something in full confidence and be wrong. I don't need to be overflowing with self-confidence, I just need to think rationally. It's not the size that matters, Edgeworth, it's how you use it.
Well, your brain is still tiny either way, and you just use it stupidly.
Beside him was the samurai sword covered in the victim's blood. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, so this isn't the new statement, he changed the original one. Which means I bet this is the, one I was just trying to present. Yes, I got it right. Okay. Do you know what this is, Agent Lang? It's a long spear, right? We used those a lot in my country a long time ago. Piercing, mowing people down, spears are the weapon of heroes throughout history.
It's the most effective weapon after the whip.
No, Francisca, you don't understand. The whip is highly ineffective and difficult to use. I think the whip is a slightly different category. So what's your point? Are you going to tell me that the spear is the real weapon? No, I simply want you to take a look at the section here. The way it's bent. Precisely. Apparently a certain troublemaker hit it against a wall in this embassy earlier. And as you can clearly see, the insides of the steel samurai's weapons are hollow. In other words, the replicas aren't strong enough to deliver a damaging blow, let alone multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. And yet there's not even a dent in the samurai sword. How do you explain that? Oh, that's what we're going for. Oh yeah, the sword and the spear are made of the same stuff, so they bend easily. But I wish they'd make them out of better stuff, because the spear got bent. I wasn't able to do my early summer rain jab move. Man, I got such an earful from the director of the play for not doing it in the show. The Steel Samurai's special move was changed tonight because of him. I love how, like, offended and violated Edgeworth looks right now. He's like, dear God, this menace. Youch! That's more than enough of your whiny whimpering. Now, back to the topic of the spear. Yes, let's return to the real topic of discussion. Discussion of the topic. This is where the real gamble begins. I don't have a real strategy, per se. All I can do for now is let chips fall where they may. Using guesswork and taking risks is in place of real logic is hardly the Von Karma way. It's neither smart nor very clever. Miss Von Karma, as you know, unlike your father, I am not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt his record of a 40-year win streak will ever be broken. Nothing to say. Perhaps it's time for but perhaps it is for the best that it remains unbroken. For no one should be conceived of the notion to convict all defendants in the first place. What a foolishly foolish statement from a foolishly fool who hates to lose. It's the job of a prosecutor to make sure all defendants are found guilty in court. There's nothing more important in this world than perfect victory. That may be your opinion, however, I don't believe that is all we are. Oh, this is where he kind of shows Lang that he's not what he thinks he is. As a prosecutor, what I pursue is not a perfect victory, but the perfect truth. That means that the bridge I must cross will crumble beneath my feet. And let it crumble as I walk towards the truth. You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor. But you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slightest bump and we expire. I'd like you to consider, if you will, the possibility that the sword was used in such a way that the attack killed Damas 2 without it being bent. So what do you think of my hypothetical scenario? I think you know what to do here, right? And what you need. Of course, what I need is evidence even Agent Lang can't refute. This is it. It's time to bring this to a close. Okay, a new testimony. Why Larry, Part 2. It's possible to use a Steel Samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We searched the embassy, top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon. So isn't that only natural that suspicion would fall onto the owner of said weapon? How long do you intend to cling on to that preposterous theory? As long as I want, because we examined every corner within the walls of this embassy. There is no stone we've left unturned. We managed to come up with only one logical conclusion. The only place inside the embassy with the victim's blood on it is this sword. Yeah, that's true. You left no stone unturned. Is that a fact? If you've got something to say, then say it in the only way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, of course. In that case, allow me to send you a very definitive text message of what I think of your face. LOL. You are ugly. IRL. Done. Yes, of course. In that case, allow me to make it crystal clear for you. Alright, so I didn't see anything wrong with that statement. So we're just gonna go back to pressing. Because he's right in every single sense. May I inquire about how you were able to make such a claim, Agent Lang? Lang Z says capable of miracles beyond comprehension, a mysterious creature is man. Other than man, it's Agent Lang's quotes that are getting increasingly incomprehensible. The human body is a mysterious thing, even with a toy-like sword. It's easy to kill a man if you just hit the right spot. Which is why I think it's possible to kill with this thing without leaving a dent. But we can only be sure one way or the other by seeing if the wound matches the sword. I know that. But as long as it's a possibility, I can proclaim it as much as I'd like. Wait, why are you having this argument then? Can't we just get the wounds checked? But you must know that your conclusion is wrong. Given the circumstance, I mean, the only people I can trust are my subordinates. Because they are a much more trustworthy bunch than you prosecutors will ever be. And you call yourself a professional? Hold it, not so fast. I just want Apollo in, like, the 3DS games, because I know he's in there. You guys did confirm that costume was real. And he just, like, goes, and he just says, it's fine. And he yells it as loudly as he can. You still don't see, do you, Mr. Prosecutor? You have to earn my trust. The only way to do that is show me proof of another possible murder weapon. Another possible weapon in this room. There is only one other thing left. It's going to be a gamble, but I can't withdraw from the game now. You're not going to get me to trust you by the power of your glare alone, are you? Plus, I have other reasons as to why I think the samurai sword is the murder weapon. Still nothing. The only place where you could find blood was on the samurai sword. That's right, even with luminol. Which means that there are no other possibilities outside of what I've already outlined. Do I have a problem with Agent Lang's assertion with that weapon? Yes, we do! If you believe that there is no other door of possibility left to open, then allow me to force one open for you. Huh. And how do you plan to do that? By showing you what may possibly be the real murder weapon. Ha! The real murder... Yeah, it's the knife. I hate to repeat myself. But my men have already searched every last inch of this embassy. And they've concluded that nothing else could have been used as a weapon. Knowing these facts, do you still want to press forward with your little hypothesis? Of course. Because it's not possible that your men inspected everything in their investigation. What are you talking about? My men are perfect. I've trained them one by one. On command. They can do anything I ask. Bring me a soda, kill someone, train a dog, go to Disneyland. Well, actually, we're still working on that one, but I don't appreciate mind games. I don't appreciate when you slander my men. I'm not slandering them, I assure you. I'm merely pointing out that their investigative dragnet has a few holes in it. Namely, that there is something your men couldn't even lay a finger on. And that is the real murder weapon. Alright, then. I'll play along for now. This real weapon that killed Damas 2. What exactly is it? The real murder weapon, which not a single person has yet to touch, is this. Nope, it's not the knife. Fountain pen? No, I don't see it. Handle? No. Photo? No. Oh, yes, I figured it out. Figured it out because I'm a genius. Not really. The statue. That's why it's moved. It's because they used the statue to do the blunt force. And I don't think they'd spray the statue down with luminol, would they? Because that'd be kind of like defiling something, but... This is the weapon you're looking for. Okay, never mind. I was really, like, banking on that statue, but... I can't see how it's a proper job to show me evidence so devoid of rationality or relation. I was mistaken. I thought I had it. I really thought I had it. I guess I'm wrong. I must remain calm and think this through. The real weapon that killed Miss Damas 2 has got to be that thing. I just know it. Is it the knife? Oh, there's two different statues. That's why. I didn't notice. Oh, okay. I was actually right. The national treasure of Alabast. You mean the Primadou statue? Yes, and as you know, only the ambassador and his secretariat may touch it. Which I believe means that neither you nor your men were able to examine it, correct? Not so fast! You know very well that if we did that, there'd be an international incident. Between the Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of Babel. The two countries' precarious relationship teeters in the balance. Over a stupid fight related to a sovereignty statue. but I'll be damned if I let something go unexamined. Agent Lang, if you could take a look at this. The direction of the statues facing just before and after the crime are different. And there's only one conclusion that I can draw from that. Go look for Ambassador Alba and get him to give us the okay to examine the statue. Or that's him talking. Shifu, you can't listen to this infidel's words. He's most definitely trying to trick you. Shifu, please, let's be rational about this. Urgh. Langzi says, just go! Sorry, fuck up. Alright, sir. He's never yelled at me like that before. Shifu? Yeah? I'm really sorry, sir, but I was unable to convince the ambassador. I was unable to obtain the permission for us to examine the primitive statue. Huh. I see.
Wait, but then the investigation is at a standstill. Agent Lang, I will go and speak with the ambassador personally.
Save your breath. He may act weak and frail, but that old man's one tough cookie. But I guess you've gotta be tough when you're representing a whole country, you know. Agent Lang, what do you want? Let's hurry up and examine the statue already. Well, but Shifu, what about causing an international incident? Quiet. I'll take the fall if I have to later. Agent Lang, the hypothesis is mine, so if someone is to take the responsibility, let it be me. Responsibility? If we're going to talk in such heavy terms, maybe I should let you. It'd be a real problem for my men if something were to happen to me. Alright then, less talk and more investigating. If we want to know about the truth, we can't stop here. Action must be taken. Agent Lang, I'd like to run a luminol chemiluminescence test on the statue. A luminol test. Ah, good thinking. It's the only thing we have, really. I mean, seriously. Our investigative teams, we just kind of hand them luminol and be like, spray the whole place down. That's all you really need. Oh, there's some footprint shit too, but we stopped doing that. If the statue of the murder weapon... Wait, if the statue of the murder weapon, then some of the victim's blood should be on it. If it is the murder weapon. Okay, let's get the forensics team in here. Yep. And it looks like you hit the jackpot, Mr. Prosecutor. Guess this means that this is the real weapon that killed Damas too. Indeed. But I wouldn't celebrate yet if I were you. This doesn't let your friend off the hook. It doesn't prove that he didn't kill Damas too, so the charge remains. We are hardly done examining the statue, Agent Lang. Knowing that it is the real weapon, I believe further examination is required. Huh, you think so? Okay then. Knock yourself out. Oh, okay, let's check the bottom. It's the first thing that comes to mind. It's either the bottom or something to do with the sword. Oh, we can't actually, I thought we could. I guess I'd do this manually. Oh, found it. What do we have here, this dirty smudge? It looks like a handprint. What's a definitive bit of evidence like you doing here? Looks like we've got some fingerprints to analyze. Worst case scenario, these prints belong to Larry. It looks like it's too late for me to do anything about that now. Hey, forensics guy, I want the results on these fingerprints ASAP, you hear me? Yes, sir, I'll do the fingerprint thing that any person could do. Agent Lang, I have the analysis results, sir. Good, and? Sir, about the prints we lifted from the bottom of the statue. Well, you know, the victim of the murder in the Bobolice embassy? The prints belong to him, Mr. Manny Cochin, sir. But that's... What's going on around here? No, that's impossible. Each primitive statue can only be handled by someone of that country. But the very fact that Mr. Cochin's fingerprints are on this one, it leads me to only one conclusion. The statue is actually Bobbles' primitive statue. Oh, so they pulled an old switcheroo, huh? Impossible, it can't be. Larry never once set foot on Bobolice soil, so he was free to go. However, this new piece of evidence only served to confuse us even further. The ringleader of a smuggling operation was killed with an alabastrian knife in Babel. I'm messing this word up so much. Hello! You know, I just realized he looks like... It's like Discount Griffith. And Damas too was killed on alabastrian soil with Babel's national treasure. And the mystery of the great thief Yatagarasu who visited both countries. The pieces were there, but I had yet to see the big picture they were to form. Okay, finally! Oh my god! Oh, jeez. I know you guys say, like, oh, you should be able to get through this chapter, no problem. It'll just be super quick. Like, that's when you're playing the game. That's not when you're reading it out loud, fumbling over your words, trying to speak correctly, trying to think while speaking, and just, these are going to take a while. And as you guys told me, there's apparently, and I'm talking about the to be continued screens, you guys told me that there is about, like, 7 or so, which is a high number, and we're only like on the second one, so they're all this long. This case is gonna take a while, but at least it's not the worst case. And aside from Larry, I like all the characters. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I got the voices right enough. I'm still recovering in some ways, so it can be sort of difficult to make these voices. But if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It would help out a lot. And if you want to become a member of the Dust Brigade, just click subscribe. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Riding out.